What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Uncle Fred, back with another video. And you know what we want to talk about today? Well, first of all, we want to, all of those that were tuning in to, I guess you can call that Love Fest that went on tonight on NBC. Don't get me wrong. I'm a football fan as much as I am a Cowboy fan. I'm a football fan. So, it was good to see, Tom Brady go back to Foxborough 20 years, good quality football, and a good spirited, hard fought game. They won 19-17. So, hats off to them. And Tom Brady getting the all-time yardage record from Drew Brees, so when it's all said and done, he's going to have all the records, remarkable career he's had, and, a credit to the game of football. So what's all that's being said. But that's not why you came here. You came here because the Cowboys did their thing today, okay? Cowboys 36, Carolina Panthers 28, okay? And I know coming into the game, I heard all of the naysayers. I watched Skip and Shannon. I watched Speak for Yourself. I hear all of the stuff. Yeah, you played well, but you lost to Tampa Bay. I get that. But you probably should have lost to the Chargers. They had 2 touchdowns called back on taunting and some other things. You should have lost that one. And you beat the Eagles, but who are they? But the Panthers are coming in 3-0. Got 10 days rest. They got the number 1 run defense in the NFL, allowing about 45 yards a game. And you know what I thought to that? I'm like, we ain't scared. We ain't scared. I know you got big Derek Brown in the middle, big 6'5", 326-pound Derek Brown. I know about Derek Brown from Auburn. I'm a Roll Tide fan also. We've seen him many times wreck our offensive line and stop plays, but we got our wins on him. But we know that kid had talent. We know about him. I know about Hassan Reddick. I know about Shaq Thompson. I know about all them guys. But as I said, we weren't scared. All right. What did we do? How do I know we weren't scared? Because on the second drive, we go 9 plays, 90 yards, 6 minutes off the clock, 1 yard run by Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe only 2 plays on the drive were passes. I think Dak was 1 or 2 for like 18 yards. Was a little dump off pass to Dalton Schultz on the sideline, and that was the only completion. Rest of them were just running it down their throats. Okay. And touchdown, set the tone. I know they came right back and got a touchdown and whatnot, but we went right back down the field. Touchdown to Blake Jarwin to make it up. And hey, just between you and me, they hosed us on that 2-point conversion. I know we had, they had too many men on the field or whatever the case might have been. And they moved it from the 3 or wherever it is to like the 1.5 yard line. So we thought we'd go for 2. Yeah, I think Blake Jarwin got in. I think they hosed us on that, but I think we may have got hosed them on that second Dalton Schultz fumble. Yeah, that kind of was a fumble, but that's okay. That's all right. We all right. Okay. So one hand washes the other. We're gonna be all right. So yeah, and so we come right back down and we get a touchdown to Dalton Schultz. There's 20, and it's we get a touchdown. Then it's 14-13 at halftime. Second half, touchdown, 35 yards. Mari Cooper set the defensive back up perfectly, went down the sideline. Dak dropped that thing right in the bucket. 35-yard touchdown pass, put us up 20-14. That changed the game because we got to stop, got another touchdown. I think we missed on a 2-point conversion, 26-14. Trayvon Diggs got him another interception. And we go down, we get another touchdown to my man Cedric Wilson, 23 yards. Somebody told that dude to hit the B button, spin move, put the dude in the cycle, touchdown. It's 33-14 in the route zone. So I'm like, yeah, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. And, right before the end of the 4th quarter, Trayvon Diggs get a second pick. All right. And we turned that into a field goal. It's 36-14. It's a 22-point lead. And I'm like, yeah, I'm dancing around in the house. And I'm like, yeah, man, we on now. It's on and popping. But then somehow when the defense goes back out on the field, I don't see Trayvon, and they got some sort of thing going on. But I'll talk about that later. But we end up winning the game 36-28. Okay, and we ran the ball extremely well. We did whatever we wanted to do offensively in the tune of 433 yards of total offense and 24 first downs. Okay. And my man, Kellen Moore, called a whale of a football game. All right. That boy ain't careful. He's going to find himself a head coaching job. And if my man, Mike McCarthy, keep mismanaging simple things, the clock, when to call timeouts, win the challenge. He had a bad challenge today, too. He cost us a timeout. Dude, what is you doing? You'll find yourself on the street. This young kid going to have your job, okay? You're going to end up being Wade Phillips, okay? And you will have done it to yourself, okay? So, overall, a good win. It was a little scary down the stretch because, Trayvon Diggs didn't play anymore in the game, and I'm gonna talk about that later. So that's good. So we had a great win today, and I'm happy about everything that went down, and I'm happy that we was able to run the ball. Nobody thought we could. Oh, they're gonna stuff y'all, and y'all gonna have to. And Dak gonna make some mistakes, and it didn't happen. Let me tell you some of the things that went on today. All right, Ezekiel Elliott, 20 carries, 143 yards and a touchdown. Okay, Dak Prescott, 14 of 22, 188 yards, not one, not two, not three, but 4 touchdowns for number 4. Okay, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions, clean, efficient ball game. Okay, and we was able to control the clock and control the ball, and was in the second half. Got a couple of turnovers. And we was able to win the game. Okay, so hats off to the Cowboys getting a good win against a quality opponent. We might see Carolina again because let's remember they didn't have C-Mac. C-Mac's a bad dude. Now let's not get this thing twisted. C-Mac can play. One of the most explosive and all around backs in the NFL. Can catch it, can run it, and do all those things. So that's a whole different element out of their ball game that we didn't have to deal with today. So, it's a good win, and wins are hard to come by in the NFL. So, we don't take none for granted. We're glad to get the W, 3-1. And we got the Giants in our sight. Giants got a target on their back, and we coming, baby. We're coming for y'all. All right. So, having said all that, game balls. Okay. Got some game balls that I want to hand out for today, and 3 on offense and 3 on defense. All right, it's a lot of balls, but I got 3 on each side of the ball. First game ball I'm gonna give is to our offensive line. Told all week, yeah, them big boys gonna stuff y'all. Yeah, they stuffed us all right. Stuffed us all the way to 233 yards rushing. Yeah, they stuffed us all right. So we was able to run the ball effectively. And anytime we wanted to, we ran it. It was 3rd and 3, we ran it. It was 2nd and 5, we ran it. 1st and 10, we ran it. Game ball to the offensive line, man. They're strong, and they only gonna get better. So the first game ball goes to O-line. Okay. Second game ball, Ezekiel Elliott. You heard me right earlier. 20 carries, 143 yards. Get this. Ezekiel Elliott had a 47-yard carry today. 47-yard run. We ain't seen that since, 2017? He had a 47-yard run. Okay. Ezekiel Elliott. Okay. Hats off to Ezekiel for starting to take, his career seriously. Not saying that he didn't before, but I know at some points he was not in the best of shape. Looked like he wasn't taking his diet and conditioning seriously. And if you look at him now, he's down to like 218, 217 pounds. Seems quicker, got a little burst to him. Because we understand that the NFL life is not long, okay? And for a running back, your shelf life is even shorter than that. All right. So hats off for him for understanding that. And it's like, and understanding that, you can make this thing as long as you want, or if you don't take care of yourself and don't take care of your body, don't take care of your nutrition, it can be as short as you want. Okay. And I proud of him for taking control of those things. But he gets a game ball today. Even if you take the 47-yard run off of that, he still had 19 carries for 96 yards. That's still 5 yards a carry. So, quit trying to sandbag my boy. Game ball, Ezekiel Elliott. Third game ball, of course, who else? The Daiquiri boy, Dak Prescott, 14 for 22, 188, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And just for good measure, threw in a couple of nice runs, had 4 rushes for 36 yards. Heard one YouTuber say, I don't like for him to be running. Look, one of them runs was on a third down that kept the drive going. Nobody was open. He faked the guy out, guy missed the tackle, went down the sideline for 22. And then the third quarter, 4th down and 2, same kind of scenario, busted out down the sideline for a 16-yard gain and a first down. That kept the drive going. We ended up getting a touchdown on that drive. So hats off to Dak Prescott, 188 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 36-yard rushing. He gets a game ball. Okay. Defensively, I'm going to go with my man Randy Gregory on the D-line. Only had about 3 tackles, but he had 2 sacks. Coming back off of COVID, second game back off of COVID. And he, got a couple of sacks on Sam Darnold, some pressures in the second half, 2 sacks, 1 assisted, 3 total tackles. And he had a great game. Can't even mention the Cowboy defense without mentioning that Micah Parsons and him lining them up all over the formation, lining them up on the D-line, lining them up at linebacker, having them coming, blitzing, dropping them back in coverage, doing all kind of things with him. Dan Quinn is going to have a field day moving this guy around and having offensive guys staying up at night wondering where number 11 is lining up, okay? That boy is a stud, okay? He had 3 tackles and a sack himself and a couple of pressures and got a couple of holding calls against him, as he always seems to do, because he's hard to block. And then once he gets to the edge, dude got 4.3 speed. He's hard to get corralled. And then, so he does his thing. And then last but certainly not least, that dude, Trayvon Diggs, who's vastly becoming my favorite player, number 7, got his hands on 2 more picks today. Both of them in the third quarter that stopped drives. One of them, he just cut right in front of DJ Moore, picked that thing off. We got a field goal out of that, put us up 22, and for all practical purposes, that game is over. So those 3 guys, and we had the Cowboy defense not getting the game ball, but just for your information purposes, because we are in the information business, right? Cowboy defense registered 5 sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sacks today. Correct? And so we start to get pressure on the quarterback, things are gonna be good. Okay. All right. So it's a great win. Now, anybody that knows me, I'm not one of the Cowboy fans that, once we get a couple of wins, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, because I come from the Alabama Nick Saban school of optimism and looking at things. Last week playing Southern Miss, crying about third down conversions they gave up, leading 42-7. Okay, so when you look at games that way, you don't break out the pom-poms when you get wins, because you realize as the games go on, the competitions get stiffer. You're playing better teams are better schemed. They watching film. People not sitting at home watching, TV and reruns and things. They're watching film of you, coming up with game plans on how they can beat you. Okay, so that's what they're doing. So you can't just rest on your laurels. Right? Okay, so from right now, I'm gonna give you my optimisms. Okay, my optimisms are, number 1, that we're moving the football at will. Okay, because I think right now our offense is really, if you want to say it, and I really hate to say this, but really it's unstoppable because our offensive line is playing so well that if you put 8 guys in the box, we can still run it some. But then if we don't want to, we can play fake it. We got tight ends that can catch. We got wide receivers, that know how to get open, and we got a quarterback that don't turn the football over. Okay, I think he's got 2 interceptions in 4 games to go with 10 touchdowns. Okay, so if you whichever game you want to play, okay, if you want to play it like Tampa and stack the box. Okay, Dak will go 42 for 58 for 403 and 3 touchdowns. Okay, if you want to, play it back and cover the back end, that's fine. We'll get 200 yards against the Chargers, 160 yards against the Eagles, and 233 yards, I do believe, against the Panthers today. And whichever way you want to play it, just whatever music you want, we can dance to it. Okay, so. Offensively, I don't have any. And then the optimism is, as good as the offensive line is blocking, in a couple of weeks, Lyle Collins is coming back. And I know Terrence Steele is handling his business on the right side, right tackle. And, we're going to probably ease Lyle Collins back in there. And then you can move Terrence Steele around anywhere on the offensive line, okay, if you want to. We have depth. So how much better we're going to be once we get him back. And then, as well as we're throwing the football and whatnot with the receivers we got, Cedric Wilson's filling in admirably at that third receiver spot in for what we do in a couple of weeks. We're going to be getting Michael Gallup back. All right? So that lets us know that, if barring any kind of injury or anything, we're going to have guys all over the place that you're not going to want to cover, okay? On defense, as much pressure as we're getting, in about maybe like after week 10 or 11, we're going to get D-Law back. We're going to get Donovan Wilson back in the secondary to help out J-Ron Curse, okay? We're going to get guys back, all right? So as good as we're playing now, we're going to be getting some guys back, and we're going to be even better, providing we don't, lose anybody else or any other thing and whatnot. We knock on wood on that. So my optimism is we're 4-1, and I'll look for us just to continue winning, because I like where this team is going along those lines. Now, I do have some concerns, okay? Wouldn't be Uncle Fred if I didn't give you my concerns also, okay? For my liking, we're still giving up way too many chunk plays, big chunk plays that I think we shouldn't be giving up, okay? Case in point, I think in the second quarter, we had them second down and 12, and they end up with a personal foul, grabbing the face mask on one of our defensive linemen. And we chose to not take the penalty and let them have 3rd and 14. If we'd have kept the penalty, it would have been 2nd and 27. Okay. You do know they picked up that 3rd and 14 and ended up scoring a touchdown on that. So we're giving up too many 3rd, and you shouldn't be giving up yardage. You shouldn't be giving up 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12 multiple times a game. We're still giving up way too many chunk plays. There's too many plays where I see guys out of position, guys taking bad angles on tackles, Anthony Brown, guys, not covering guys on basic, route moves and things of that nature. And from that perspective, I'm almost saying is thank God for Trayvon Diggs. And I know he may get beat a couple times, but for the most part, his coverage is sound. And then if he gets his hands on the ball, it's Katie Barter's door. He's getting it. Anthony Brown had an interception in his hand. He dropped it. Okay. Maybe that's why he's playing DB. But yeah, and Anthony Brown also gave up a 54-yard pass play to a dude I never heard of on a 3rd and 8. And he compounded it by, taking a terrible angle on the tackle and letting him get by him and run down the sideline. And they end up getting a touchdown late for that. Okay. So those are my concerns. And then my other, and of course, obviously, with Mike McCarthy, not calling timeouts, wasting clocks, field goals and things of that nature. And I'm just afraid that that's going to come back and hurt us in big games when possessions are tight and you got your coach out to lunch on game management situations and stuff like that. And then he made a bad challenge today on a 4th down. I'm like, dude, that wasn't even close. Why would you waste our timeouts on that? Just to say, hey, I'm paying attention today. And it was a bad challenge. And it really was a late challenge because they had already went to the 2-minute warning and come back. And then he's now throwing the challenge flag. Come on, man. And then the other thing is that I don't know what was going on with Trayvon Diggs today after his second interception, and he's on the sideline and whatnot. They said he was out for player management or something like that. I haven't heard anything of whether he was injured or anything of that nature, but I know as soon as he went out, man, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson and then the other guy, I can't think of his name, but it was his only catch of the day. They just ran wild on our secondary, okay? So I don't know what that's about. Hopefully Trayvon Diggs is not injured or anything of that nature, so that would be catastrophic, okay? So those are my concerns. And you know, anytime you win, you're not as good as you think you are. And anytime you lose, you're not as bad as you think you are. Okay. There's always things that went right on losses, and there's always things you can clean up on wins. So, you know, so there's things for us to clean up. Not a whole lot offensively, but there's a lot defensively cleaning up. I know we've gotten 8 turnovers. And so that's leading the league in turnovers. And so that kind of makes up for our, you know, some of our defensive efficiencies. But we need to clean that up because, you know, at some point we're going to have to play the Vikings. At some point we're going to have to play, I don't know if in the playoffs we're going to have to play the Rams. You know, and those guys don't make mistakes on offense. Okay. Okay. Those guys aren't Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold played a good game today. Had 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay. Also had 2 picks. But some of them guys, you know, Matthew Stafford ain't missing anything. At some point, you might have to play the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, have you seen how he's playing this year with his offense? Okay, so our defense will have to clean this act up if we're going to go because we can't expect our offense to score 40 points every game. So that's going to have to get better. But overall, good win. Cowboys 3-1, tops in the NFC East. And, you know, we get some guys back, start playing a little better, a little more soundly on defense. And I look for us to make some hay in the NFC. So, you know, let's go Cowboys. You know, we play both sides here. We optimistic, but we also, we're for the Cowboys, but we also, you know, gonna tell the truth. So if you want the truth told, I'm your boy. Okay. So that's all we got from here, from the desk of Uncle Fred, signing off. Cowboys 36, Cardinals on my mind. Panthers 28, good win. Let's go Cowboys. Signing off, Uncle Fred. See ya.